AITA for not letting our nanny leave for a date during our vacation? My wife and I had our first child last year and it's been quite an intense few months. My wife has been on an extended maternity leave, but on top of that we've also hired a nanny, maid, to assist us with the baby as well as keep the house in order. She stays in our guest house. To celebrate our anniversary, I planned for us to take a trip by ourselves just to reconnect and give her some proper time away from our son. She was excited about leaving but was slightly concerned about leaving our son behind. Her mother was going to come down and babysit with the nanny. Trying to ease things, I asked the nanny if she'd be willing to come along with us on our trip and take care of the baby, stressing that this was supposed to be our couple vacation, so most of the childcare will be hers and more than usual. She jumped at the idea, and so I also arranged her ticket and accommodation. To be clear, she was also paid extra for the overtime. The trip was a week long and our arrangement was going quite well. At first my wife was relaxed. We reconnected and our son was close by for whenever we missed him. We would take our son and give her a break either in the mornings or afternoons. On our last day she asked if we could take the night shift as she'd met someone who'd asked her on a date. Besides that going against our arrangement, the point was to give us a break from the sleepless nights. I'd already paid and planned an intimate date on the beach with my wife for our last night. It became a bit of an issue with her trying to guilt my wife and saying we were being unfair, but by the end of it, we didn't give in and she looked after the kid. Upon returning, my wife heard her on the phone saying that she was thinking of quitting over all of this and that we were blocking her future, so here we are. Wife thinks we made a mistake. I don't disagree that it might have been assholish, but ultimately it was our arrangement and she was paid extra for it. Are we the assholes? I just came here to say that we are not in the same tax bracket. Tears of joy. Info. It's a week-long vacation. What day? Does she get off? Or how are you compensating her for working 7 days a week? You are parents 24/7. She is only a nanny for the hours you pay for. You needed to specifically negotiate what hours you are paying for here in advance. Not just expect her to be available. And I'm unclear if that happened. Now I gotta see what's on our nanny. You worked her 7 days with a few hours off here and there. That's a servant, not an employee. YTA. She would be smart to find a better employer. YTA. I mean, have a baby. Oh, we are so tired. So let's drag the nanny with us on a vacation and work her 24 hours a day. That will get us relaxed. Quote. And also, let's listen in on her phone calls. For people who couldn't leave the baby behind. You did not spend much time with the babe. There was no reason to drag the child along. Info. How long were the breaks you were giving her? Are there not laws in your country about how many hours in a row can be worked and time off, etc.? Because if you were giving her like an hour break and she was basically working a 160-hour week, that's totally unreasonable in my opinion. Someone else has commented saying it's like a work trip. On work trips you don't usually work nearly 24 hours a day the entire time. YTA unless you paid her 8 hours a day at 1x and 16 hours a day at 1.5. So 4x her normal day rate. You grossly underpaid her. You yourself said you only paid her 2x. She deserves to fire you as her client. You're a terrible boss. YTA. Depending on where you live, this trip could have been violating labor law. You shouldn't have brought along the baby and nanny in the first place if you wanted it to be a couples trip. Did you clarify expectations with her that she would be working 20+ hours per day for 7 days straight? She's your employee, not your servant. YTA. Everyone saying NTA has no idea how nannying actually works. Nannies are typically always allocated personal time off on vacations. Opt treating their nanny like a servant, not a human. So you made her stay up all night with your kid and gave her a few hours off in the morning or afternoon? When was she sleeping? Your wife isn't working. Your baby is a few months old now, and you have a nanny to take care of the baby in the house. Why exactly is your situation so intense that you guys needed a full week off? That alone is out of touch. Then to expect care for your child around the clock 24/7 for that week from one person? You guys can't even do that on your own and you're the parents. This is insane. YTA. I would recommend posting this on one of the nanny subs for a real perspective on this. Enjoy s'more cooked over the roasting of OP. YTA. Don't care how much extra you paid. You told her more childcare. A few hours off a day is not more childcare. That's abuse. She had a right to ask for a night off. Nanny or not, to expect someone to pretty much take over 24/7 when they are not the parent is insane. She is a nanny and has no kids. You needed a break even with a nanny, but yet expected her to handle it all. So it was your vacation. You invited her to watch your child but gave her no chance to do anything. So you paid her accommodation and ticket. Well, you should have, as it was you paying her a job. That's not an extra. That's common sense. To be upset she wanted one night to enjoy after a week of not getting to decide when she could take a break if she needed one, and then only a few hours, which means not getting to leave or sightsee or anything, because who knew when you would decide when she was back on duty is insane. Let me put it this way. Unless you explicitly told her you have a few hours off, a say that she didn't get to decide what time she had off, that she wouldn't get a day or even afternoon or evening off. Unless you told her that, unless the extra you paid her for was hourly, then that's abusing the contract for any childcare. That's taking advantage of someone who sounds young, not understanding and able to grasp what you meant and how hard it would be. That's you showing as the person paying her for that not only are you not understanding but not saying in no uncertain terms what is expected. Of course, she wants to quit. You have proven that you can't be trusted to make sure as the one in charge that she is fully informed, be fully able to make a decision, so why would she think it wouldn't happen again? Entitled Wealthy Person is shocked to find the hired help has the temerity to want some time off to have a bit of fun. YTA. A massive one at that. YTA, both for expecting your nanny to be a maid, also, and for making her work every day without a single off day during your vacation. No wonder she wants to quit. YTA. You do know you can't own her, right? Info. As a former nanny, most vacation nannies will work on the final night, as long as the hours were properly communicated and compensated. That expectation is not unfair. However, did you give her the option, prior to leaving, to delay her flight home by a couple of days, so she can tag her own vacation on at the end of yours? Also, did you tell the nanny what time you would be home and available to take over care, and stick to that time, so she could make her own arrangements after clocking off? YTA. This is ridiculous. LMAO. Let's have a baby that we hardly take care of and not give our even more exhausted than us nanny a break. Am I the asshole? Be serious. Oh my gosh, is this really a problem? Maybe I'm too poor and busy raising my own children to know. YTA. Good nannies are hard to find. Having someone you trust with your child, who is capable and responsible, and gives you peace of mind, is priceless. If you don't change your mindset and start realizing that they are people too, you will have difficulty keeping a good nanny. A little appreciation and kindness goes a very, very long way in the nanny world.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.